Hello, welcome to 5-Minute Math. This is Carrie Rhinehart. I'm looking at graphing lines with a table today. If you're following along in the book, this is from Algebra 1, Unit 3, and I'm looking at Lesson 6, Part 1. So we're graphing linear functions or lines. So we should end up with a line, and when you graph, you need to make sure you put arrows at the end of both sides because it will go on forever. But we're going to use a table, which is the most basic way to graph. It's not the only way, but it's the way I'm going to look at in this one. So let's say we have y equals 2x minus 1. What I need to do is create an xy chart. And a lot of times, especially when you're beginning, we do an xy chart with the equation in the middle to give us some space to evaluate. Normally for lines, I pick -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2 because it kind of gives you it centers it and gives you a good picture. It's not the only values you can choose. You can pick anything. Just make sure they fit on your graph. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to plug -2 in for x in this equation. So we get y equals 2 times, now we're plugging in -2 for that x, minus 1. So I get 2 times -2, which is -4, minus 1. And -4 minus 1 is -5. So that means our first ordered pair is -2, -5. And I'm going to keep doing this with the rest of the values. So I get y equals 2 times -1 minus 1. Well, 2 times -1 is -2. -2 minus 1 is -3. So our next ordered pair would be -1, -3. Now I can do this with 0. Okay. And in this case, we're going to get -1. So our next ordered pair is 0, -1. Now I'm plugging 1 in for x. In this case, I end up with 1. So our next ordered pair is 1, 1. And then for the last one, we're plugging in 2. And for this, I end up with 3. So our last ordered pair is 2, 3. So now I'm going to come over to the graph and plot these. For -2, -5, remember you start at the origin. I'm going to go left 2 and down 5. So my ordered pair -2, -5 is right there. -1, -3 is here. 0, -1 is here. Then we've got 1, 1 here. And 2, 3 here. Then get your ruler out or your straight edge. Make sure that they all line up. Draw your line and be sure to put arrows on both ends. All right, I'm going to try one more with you guys. I'm going to do one with a fraction in front of x. So let's say we have 1/2 x plus 3. When you've got this type, when there's a fraction in front of x, my suggestion is that you do multiples of the denominator. So the denominator here is 2. So the best thing when you're choosing values for x is to do multiples of 2. So like 2, 4, 6, 8, 0 will work. And then -2, -4. And the reason I do this is so that I don't end up with fractions in the end. You don't have to do it, but it just makes it easier for graphing so that we don't have fractions. So I'm going to get y equals 1/2 times -4 plus 3. I can plug this in to get my y. So 1/2 of -4 is -2. -2 plus 3 is 1. Then I'm going to do that with the rest of these values. And again, this is the ordered pair -4, 1. And then this next one should be 2. Sorry, wrote that in wrong. And then we've got, we end up with a +3 here, so the ordered pair is 0, 3. For here we get 4. And this last one, we will get 5. So we've got all of our ordered pairs. Again, when you first start, I know that you're not going to get these as quickly, but it's the same process every time. 0, 3 is here, 2, 4 is here, and 4, 5 is here. Get your straight edge out. Make sure they all line up. If they don't, then you know you've plugged something in incorrectly. And put your arrows on the end. All right, you guys have a great day.